I'm so excited. Tower Garden is my favorite. And as Beverly said, we have some common things in our stories, and we did come in the door of Juice Plus, my family and I, but I have a special passion for Tower Garden. I grew up with a lot of gardening. My parents both grew up with farms. My dad, his family had a strawberry farm. My mom, they grew up as farmers. So growing up, we had a big farm. Well, okay, we had a big garden. I called it a mini farm, but we would literally, my brothers and I, take wheelbarrows and wagons, and we would take vegetables around to all our neighbors and hand them out. And so when the Tower Garden came out, I got so excited. So I'll come back to that a little bit. I'm going to kind of weave my story in with my why I just continue to do this. So I was introduced to Juice Plus, this family, this community, back in 2007. And while many people might have, their own story, I actually came in for my child. My oldest son has multiple medical diagnoses. And, you'll hear sometimes people will say different ways to describe. I say that he is uniquely abled. He has a diagnosis of cerebral palsy, and he has the diagnosis of autism. And those are the main two, but there is a laundry list because he arrived in the world about 3.5 months early. So he was very, very immune challenged. And so when I heard from someone that was a complete stranger to me in a continuing education about how to get more nutrition in his body, it made sense to me. I had been in the health and wellness field as a personal trainer, fitness instructor, dance instructor for many, many years. And to me, I was eating that way so that I could look a certain way. And I don't know, something just clicked as I got that extra education about, oh my gosh, I should be feeding my child for health, right? The same way I was feeding myself for fitness. So actually, at that point, I started navigating out of that space and went and got a different degree in nutrition, became a holistic health coach, because that really was where my passion was. And when you were flashing those photos, you guys, I was like, oh my gosh, now they've got me crying before I had to speak. One of my best friends, you saw a picture of me working out with a lady, and she really pushed me to go for it in my Juice Plus business, in my Tower Garden business. And I lost her in a really tragic accident. So seeing her picture flash before just reminded me again, it takes me back to why do I want to do this? And it's really about helping people find a way to be healthy. And it's a really simple thing, right? And so along that path, besides my own child, I was diagnosed with autoimmune disease. So was my daughter a year later. And we've kind of, gone through a time like, are we going to go to take some medication? Are we not going to go? And so I always tell people, my goal is to get people to whatever is the safest route for them. But what I love is I notice when you eat really, really well, sometimes if you have to be on medication, you don't have the side effects that you might have had you, not had this in your body. So we've been flooding ourselves. I tell people we're about 90% plant-based. We're not vegan in our home, but we definitely eat a lot of plants. And so that's where when the Tower Garden came in, I don't know, I got them as soon as they came out. I said to my husband, I need like 5 of those. And we ended up with 4. We made a move to Tennessee a few years later. And as you can see, I got plants behind me. I'm gonna lean in. They call me the crazy plant lady. My house looks like a tropical jungle. But what I love about this tower is that, just like Beverly was talking about in the beginning and Adrian was talking about in the beginning, it's about community. And so for me, the Tower Garden is a way that I get to really connect and relate to people, help people develop a skill. And gardening is so therapeutic. So as a holistic health coach, that's something that's really important to me in today's society, the state of our mental health. Gardening is so therapeutic. I was on a few weeks ago, and Mona was talking about that same thing, about how therapeutic it is for us to grab into gardening. And I also love it because, as I said, I have a child that is uniquely abled. Anybody can garden, and it gives people an opportunity to, no matter if they have a physical challenge or whatever it may be, the Tower Garden is a beautiful way that has just, for me, it's opened up a door to gardening for so many people. I wish I could show you mine. but it's out of season for me. I live in Tennessee. I will be cleaning mine March 1st. That's always cleaning day. There was a funny picture of me on there with my power washer. That's what I use and it works great. And excuse me, we have a lot of fun. And what I love about being here in the Mid-South is also our gardening season lasts so much longer. I don't know if many of you have experienced that, depending on where you live. But my neighbors and I, we love to exchange. That's something that during the pandemic, I really got to know some of my neighbors even more, because those of us that were gardening, we started swapping vegetables and seeds and different things. My next door neighbor is Chinese. And so he taught me all about vegetables that I'd never even seen or heard of before. And he loves my tower garden. And one of my neighbors is Filipina. And so we would, exchange different kinds of basil. And so it's just been so wonderful to get to connect on that community level with people. Sorry, I'm going to grab a drink. I'm froggy today. But as I was saying, it's just wonderful to get to connect with people, right? On that kind of level that you can really build. You can build community. What Adrian said, when you're hanging out with people, you start doing what they're doing. And so I love seeing my neighbor's garden. I love seeing my neighbors taking a walk. We're going into a healthier lifestyle together. And it has been so fun to get to do it with these great tools that our company gives us. And I would never, ever stop. I just love it. I own a ridiculous amount of tower gardens, I will tell you. I actually have 12. We garden 3 year round, but the other ones I actually give to area businesses, put in schools. They travel around. So they're traveling tower gardens and they get to go visit people. And it's a great way for other people just to get to learn about tower and everything that it offers. So yeah, so that's kind of how I use it. Our family, like I said, we've been with Eating Juice Plus for however many years that is, 15 years now, since 2007. Became a partner a year later because it just made sense to cover my costs if I was going to keep doing it. And I walked as a national marketing director in 2015. Tower Garden was a huge part of that as well. So, whatever your journey looks like, whatever it is that you want to create, just do it. That's what I tell people. Just do it. Have fun. Put on, you saw like we did salad in a jar. I did those consistently for 2 years. We're getting ready to start those back up with a new group of people. So however you want to share is perfect. Adrian said something about, you can't wait until the perfect time. There's never going to be the perfect time. Never going to be the perfect time. But just by opening your mouth and sharing good health with someone, you literally are going to change someone's life. So hope that is helpful.